Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the sexy ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and you're listening to the New World Podcast, brother. Too sweet me, and we're talking about Monday Night Raw, the fallout from Night of Champions, huge weekend, and I didn't realize I counted from last week's Raw all the way to my review to Battleground for that entire week of professional wrestling and everything like that. I dropped 12 podcasts. Holy shit. We're over the 200 mark. I believe this is season 4, episode 211. We're still rocking, baby. And the birthday's coming up for this podcast. I believe June 5th. It'll be an official full year of the reincarnation of the New World Podcast. That's why I had the tag season 4 on there, because after pushing myself to make this podcast happen, and if you're new to this, welcome. I'm just a huge wrestling fan. This started off with me just covering Raw and SmackDown, and then it just ended up with in AEW and making me fall in love with AEW, because I had a lot of negative things to say at first, man. If you go back to some older stuff I said fuck AEW, but now I'm like, oh god, I'm waving that flag as high as can be. I added NXT, then all these things, collisions coming up here soon, but I'm just a big fan of this sport. I actually wrestled. I think I've said that before. For a good 5 years, it was one of the best experiences of my life. I was champion for most of it, and it was awesome, man. It's nothing like taking a bump in that ring at all. Nothing like it. So we're going to jump right on in. Corey Graves, Kevin Patrick, on commentary. We're in Albany, New York, 13-hour flights to get back right here just so they can put on the show. And how do we start the show? We set it off. We got to sing his song. Oh, Seth freaking Rollins, our new World Heavyweight Champion. Came out through the crowd, great pop, great reaction. They're singing his song. I'm singing his song. And he cuts a good promo, says, now it's time for a fighting champion, a champion that will fight, a champion that will defend this title. He will take on all challengers, all newcomers. And guess who comes out? The man that he beat, AJ Styles, and it was a sign of respect. I thought AJ was going to turn heel at some point during this show. But no, not really. It was just a good sign of respect. And I like what Seth says. He goes, I'm not really good at this, but here we go. And he shook his hand. Boom, the Judgment Day come out. They interrupt. They talking about, hey, we run Monday Night Raw. But Seth is like, no, this is Monday Night Rollins. You need to understand and know your place, Judgment Day. And AJ's like, yo, I think these guys are challenging us. You challenge us? Then they both we accept. Sets up the big main event for tonight. Big tag team match. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins versus Judgment Day. This show is very compact with wrestling, storytelling, and it felt short because there was a lot of great wrestling tonight. And I was, and I'm looking at my notes. Usually when I cover a Monday Night Raw, my whole page is covered with a bunch of side notes and everything like that. But I got to say, for tonight, the page is not all the way full because we had a lot of really good wrestling matches on this show. And we start off the show. Oh, wait, before I get going, Adam Pearce is backstage with Seth and AJ. So they're like, yo, make it official, Adam. Make it official. Make it official. Adam says, fine. He goes, talking to the big boss and everything like that. He makes the match official. So it sets up for the main event. That was pretty fun. But right now is the first Money in the Bank qualifying match for the men's Money in the Bank. Ricochet versus The Miz. Poor Miz. I don't know what we're doing with them. It's just one of those things where Ricochet, I called it. I was like, Ricochet's got to win. Miz is going to job out, and, I feel bad for The Miz just because I feel like he's a workhorse, man. And I was thinking of doing this. This is just a Miz, tidbit type thing. I want to like cover the wrestling movies. You know, I want to do a full blown like quick series of the Marine movies. How we went from John to is it Dean Ambrose? Was it Dean Ambrose? Right? The Marine 2, Dean Ambrose, and then The Miz took over in the third movie and was all the way up to 6. I was thinking of doing something with that, watching a movie, review the movie or something, because Becky Lynch is in the last one, Shawn Michaels as well. Also covered the 12 Rounds movies. You know, you got the first one with John Cena, the second one with Randy Orton, the third one with Dean Ambrose. The third one with Dean Ambrose makes me laugh so hard because literally he's counting down the rounds of bullets he has. And it is called 12 Rounds Lockdown or something like that. But like going back and checking out these movies from the just the wrestling ones, you know, No Holds Barred and stuff like that. Cage Fighter, which I recommend highly. It's basically an AEW pairing. It's about UFC fighting and stuff like that. But it has John Moxley. He's in there. He's a professional wrestler, but he goes by a different name. His acting is superbly over the top, which is fucking great. But that I'm just going back to The Miz. But I was like, go and cover wrestling movies that star wrestlers. I ain't gonna go cover all the goddamn Rock movies. Maybe the first couple, you know, when he was still with WWE and stuff like that. But you know, WWE Studios, like the Rundown and stuff like that. Early John Cena stuff. All these really cool things with that wrestlers trying to step outside the box. And I want to see Miz do another Marine. You know, like maybe a more serious one. Maybe they do a Marine that's good, like a Marine 7, like make it a hard, solid reboot with The Miz. I don't know. You tell me what you think of that idea. Just an idea I've had. Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark. Trish Stratus comes out first. Ricochet Miz, Ricochet wins. He's moving on in the Money in the Bank qualifying match. He qualifies whatever the men's. Trish Stratus is out there. She's talking, and I gotta say, man, Trish is a legend. Thank you, Trish, for all your contributions. She's just not that great on the mic. I was so happy when Zoe came out. I was like, oh, fucking finally. Someone that can speak on the mic. Then here comes Becky. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Then a fight breaks out. You know, they're still in gear. Becky's still rocking that Kill Bill look. But I was just like, just get a fight. Of course, the numbers game, and they beat down Becky, and they want to put the shirt, thank you, Trish, on her. Becky's in the corner laying there in full yellow, you know. But I it's just one of those things that I'm just like, Trish, I just can't. It's like watching paint dry. You are a legend among things, but god damn, dude. I was so happy when Zoe came out. That's my bitching of the night. Indus Sher versus Jinder Mahal, versus Squash Gang. Yes, Squash Gang. That's what I call them. Because they don't give them names. I try to look at their trunks. But they get squashed. And just building this tag team. We have our 1,000-day celebration coming up. What's going to happen? Because the bloodline is in shambles right now because of Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. We had Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens come out. They're about cutting a promo saying like, yo, we will forever hold this. And Roman, you can forever know that we beat you. You know, you will understand that this L is under you. Imperium comes out. Oh, my God. This is some of the best shit ever, man. Owens losing his shit. And he's rocking a Bloodline shirt, which is great. You know, we the ones. He goes, there's an unwritten rule. We didn't mention your name. You guys came out, you know. And going on. And then they get on commentary. Mystery Science Theater this shit, man. And I like the fact that Corey Graves pulled that because this was for their match Imperium versus Alpha Academy. And, you know, when Alpha Academy came out, Imperium's like, you're not going to, you know, I think the best one was like, yo, we never hear from the bald one. Can we hear from the bald one? Baldy chants started happening. Then all of a sudden we got a sheesh. And I got to say, we completely threw it out Maximum Male Models because Maxine was totally on board, wearing a shoosh shirt. They basically mentioned that this is the new Alpha Academy 2.0 with Maxine. So, I guess we're totally throwing away the maximum male model, saying I'm okay with that. I didn't want Otis and these two to come apart and talk about a damn good match and talk about some awesome commentary from Sammy and Kevin, man. They were making me laugh the entire time. Valhalla came out. She chased Maxine out because there's beef there. So maybe we'll see an in debut for Maxine. But yeah, so this match was fun. Imperium for the win because off the distraction of Valhalla coming out, chasing down Maxine. There's really a great spot too when Otis gets tossed out of the ring, and Sammy's like, "Oh, the ground shake! You feel my ground in the feet," So great stuff here, man. Great stuff. We have Kathy backstage with Raquel and Shotzi before their big match for the Fatal 4-Way. Damage Control interrupts, and they make a quick shot at Bayley, saying, well, "Yeah, out of your group, you're the only one that hasn't won a championship." So I was like, "Ooh, feisty, Raquel, feisty." This is the big one. WWE Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line in a Fatal 4-Way match. Shotzi, Raquel versus Ronda and Shayna versus Damage Control versus Chelsea and Sonya, who got some matching gear. I was like, ooh, that's cute. There was a great spot where Ronda was about to do her submission, and then Bayley came down, and that crowd was like, "Thank you, Bayley," because they didn't want Ronda or Shayna winning. But guess what? Ronda and Shayna are our new Women's Tag Team Champions, and everyone can suck it. I've been waiting for this for a while. It took us a long time to get here. Liv had to get hurt and stuff like that. Out of these teams, I was like, it has to be Ronda, it has to be Shayna, because I know these two are going to escalate the women's tag team division, and I hope they do. They got Fire and Dawn, you got the other people. We got so many tag teams that are coming together that we could build this women's tag team division, and I think having Ronda and Shayna Baszler as our new women's tag team champions is something of importance. That's just my opinion. So, we had a Seth backstage. He was with AJ. We got Dolph Ziggler versus JD McDonough. And guess what? It was just a straight beatdown, son. They got counted out. JD McDonough sending a message to Dolph saying, like, "Hey, you're going to remember my name. You're going to remember my face. This is JD McDonough," man. I was like, I'm down with that. And I was thinking about Dolph, too. I was like, damn, injuries are a mother lover, man. Like, he was so on fire, then got hurt, and never really got back to that status of how on fire he was from that point on. He's still great. He's still good. He's good looking. He's a sexy mofo. Dolph Ziggler is fantastic. And it's just like, I want the dude to have the world. I want him to get one more good championship run. Now that we got the World Heavyweight Championship, there's opportunities and possibilities out there. But I just feel he's going to stay at this level of just enhancing talent. So, which is sad for me because I fucking love Dolph Ziggler. Speaking of a person I love, Cody Rhodes. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Coming out with that arm brace and everything like that. His titanium arm brace, because they sure had to make sure that we knew that titanium arm brace, man. But he comes out, he cuts a great promo, calls out Brock, says, "You got one, I got one, open challenge." And the best part about this, man, he's like, you're beast enough to break my arm, but not man enough to make me tap. And I'm like, I was like, damn, Cody, get him. And there was a dude, if you look over when you watch him cutting his promo, there's a dude on his left shoulder, and if you're facing it, it's on the right side, but he's like, yeah, because Cody mentions John Cena, and they throw the "you can't see me" sign, never give up, and everything like that. So we're definitely getting Cody and Brock 3. There's probably going to be a stipulation added to the match, maybe in a cage or something. Maybe something's going to happen, but it's going to be huge, and I think it's going to take place at Money in the Bank. I feel it should take place at Money in the Bank because I feel like Cody deserves something different at SummerSlam, unless they don't do Money in the Bank and they go straight to SummerSlam for Cody versus Brock 3. So they'll let him heal up that arm and stuff like that. So we shall see. Kathy is with Matt Riddle, talking about, he's like, oh, what if I won the Money in the Bank and everything like that, and I would cash in on Roman, I would cash in on Seth, and then Gunther comes out and he's like, yeah, maybe you can cash in on me, and I was like, oh, Riddle, Gunther, IC title down the road, maybe at Money in the Bank, or Gunther's going to be part of that Money in the Bank match as well. We have another Money in the Bank qualifying match. We got Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bronson Reed. I thought Bronson was going to get this. I was like, man, come on. Don't do this to Shinsuke. I was like, man, Bronson Reed's awesome, but I don't think he needs to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then Shinsuke won. I was like, oh, okay. I see you, Triple H. I see you. But my boy Shinsuke's moving up. He's going to be in the Money in the Bank. And hopefully we can build Shinsuke to something as well, because he's another talent that was brought up and he got into the main event of WrestleMania and lost, and then, kind of just fell to the wayside. And I feel like Shinsuke deserves the mountain, if you will. So we had Brian backstage with Judgment Day as they get ready for the main event and stuff like that. We had a really beautiful Memorial Day package. WWE does these packages so well, honoring the soldiers and everyone in the services and everything like that, the military and everything like that. Thank you. Much love, much respect. And I felt like this, I kind of missed this package, because usually they have it at the starting of the show, when they land on a holiday and stuff like that. So, but they do good packages, and thank you to all the vets out there, and to the ones lost. And it's nothing but love and respect. Thank you. Now, the main event: AJ Styles and Seth Rollins versus Judgment Day. It's Finn Balor, Damian Priest. At first, it was a tease of Damian Priest and Dominic, but we all wanted Finn and Damian and AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. And talk about a match. This was a fun match right here, man, and just so many great spots. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins for the win. Right then and there, when AJ and him were standing there shaking hands, I was like, all right, hit him, AJ, with that soccer hair, mom hair of yours. Just hit him now, hit him. Let's get this rivalry going. And no, cut to, that's it. There you go. Judgment Day beat, and no, this was a good match. I gotta say, my matches for tonight are the women's Fatal 4-Way match. I really did enjoy. I had a lot of fun with that match. I like what Shinsuke and Bronson Reed did, just because Shinsuke went toe-to-toe with Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed went toe-to-toe with Shinsuke. And the main event was probably like the best part of the show. And, we got a lot going on here, and we're just building, and we got the Money in the Bank women's qualifying matches. Natalya versus Shotzi next week, Sonya and Becky next week. So a lot of great stuff is going on, and I got to give this Raw a solid 5, especially for the fallout of Night of Champions, And now we're going to go on to NXT, and we got big weaponized steel cage match coming up. So I'm like, bring it on, man. I'm in like heaven right now. So tell me what you thought of the show. Drop your comments below. Tell me what you thought of that Cody Rhodes promo. It was so fucking good. Oh, so good. I love you, Cody. So, yeah, tell me what you thought of the show. What did you like? What did you not like? Let's talk. We're professional wrestling fans here, folks. And go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get that sweet logo created by Penta X. Check out his music as well. And throw up them 2 sweet signs, because I am KMB, the sexy ninja. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandpa. Share with the bum down at Walmart. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life.
There is the beast. Beast enough to break my arm. but not man enough to make me tap out.